Radhe Radhe, Dandava Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, शिल भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय, तदीय तिरुभाव महामहोत्सव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Somehow I need Gurudev and Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj in the view here. Okay. So we will begin with Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan is the auspicious invocation calling for the grace, the blessings, the mercy, the sidelong glances of our beloved Srila Gurudev, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari, going all the way back to the original Guru, who is Krishna himself, and his Guru of Prem, Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimati Radha Thakurani. You can find Mangalacharan on page 1 of this beautiful bhajan treasure trove, Sri Gauriya Gitikucha, starting with Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanitti Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaischa Yuktam Varam Varinyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvang Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabjadataika Hriddi Chaitanya Leela Amrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tvang Satatam Prapadye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaura Presthaya Bhutale Shri Shrimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Itti Namine Ati Margya Charitraya Swashritanam Chapaline Jiva Dukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnano Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दिनतारिणे रूपानुगविरुद्धाप सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्बोधे पदाम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगब्बराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्दिष्टसजनप्रिय वैष्णवः सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतो पंगुर्मम मंदं मतेर्गति मत्सारवस्वपदाम्बोजो राधा मदन मोहनो दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमाद श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थो श्री श्री राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्र सरसारम्भी वंशीवतस्ततः कार्षन्वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियैस्तुनः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Radhe. Who's there? Sudevi, Bakul, Atul Krishna Prabhu, Amit Dandekar, Bhakti Sarup Prabhu, Shashikala Devi Dasi, Manorama, and Gopal and Gopinath, and both of you. Hare Krishna. So now we will call out for the mercy of Shri Guru. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, page 32. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Kuruve Dasi Trinnapekhayati no Sakala Sahane বলদিয়া করো নিজ মানে স্পৃহহীন কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে ভিন্নপেক্ষায়তিহীন সকলে সমান করিতে শক্তি দেহনাথ যথাযথ তবে তো গাহিব হরিনাম সুখে অপরাধ হবে হত গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন কবে ঋণ কৃপা লোভিয়ায়ে জন কৃতার্থ হইবে নাথ শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দীন করো মোরে আত্মসাৎ গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমার করুণা সার করুণা না হইলে কাঁদিও কাঁদিয়া করুণা না হইলে কাঁদিও কাঁদিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আরো গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণপেক্ষায়তিহীন গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ গুরু পরম্পরা গুরু পরম্পরা পরম্পরা গুরু পরম্পরা গুরু পরম্পরা গুরু পরম্পরা পরম্পরা গুরু পরম্পরা श्रील गुरुदेव की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय रूपानुग गौरीय गुरुवर्ग की जय श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय. And now we will call out for the mercy of the Vaishnavas. I was just reading from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj today. It's his Tirobhav Mahamahotsav, his disappearance anniversary. And he's always focusing on Krishna, of course, but from our perspective, coming to the platform of absolute humility and submission to Krishna. First to Guru and Gauranga, then to Krishna. And so I wanted to sing the bhajan, which I feel very strongly correlates to that mood of humility when it comes to associating with high-class Vaishnavas. Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, page 40. Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur. Kripa Karo Vaishnava Thakur, Kripa Karo Vaishnava जानिया भजते भजते अभिमानो हाओ दूर अभिमानो हाओ दूर कृपा करो वैष्णव ठाकुर आमी तो वैष्णव ए बुद्धि होइले अम्मानी ना हबोयामी प्रतिष्ठा शयासि हृदय दूषिबे হইবো নিরয়োগামী হইবো নিরয়োগামী কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর তোমার কিঙ্কর আপনে জানিব গুরু অভিমানো ত্যাজি তোমার উচ্ছিষ্ট পদ জল রেণু সদা নিষ্কপতে ভজি সদা নিষ্কপতে ভজি কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর নিজে শ্রেষ্ঠ জানি উচ্ছিষ্ঠাদি দানে হবে অভিমান ভার তাই শিষ্য তব থাকিয়া সর্বদা না লইব পূজা কারো না লইব পূজা কারো কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর অম্মানি মানদ হইলে কীর্তনে অধিকার দিবে তুমি তোমার চরণে নিষ্কপতে আমি কাঁদিয়া লুটিব ভূমি কাঁদিয়া লুটিব ভূমি কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর কৃপা করো বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর প্রভু কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো প্রভু কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো All Vaishnava Thakurs ki jai. Because today is Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj's day, and he has written Sujanard Buddharadhita for Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. We will sing that now. Sujanard Buddharadhita Pada Yugam Yuga Dharma Durandara Patravaram, page 260. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was expert in Sanskrit and poetry from an external perspective, meaning from a mundane perspective. Brilliant. From a transcendental perspective, it's to be expected because all of those personalities are expert in all arts. So it's a beautiful prayer glorifying Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And it is sung in all of the Gaudiya Mats by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. Sujanar Budaradhita Padayugam Yugadhara Madhurandharo Patravaram Varada Bhayadayaka Pujyapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Bhajanurjita Sajana Sanghapatim Patitadhika Karunikaikatim Gativanchitavanchakachintyapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Atiko Malakanchana Dirghatanu Tanunindita Hema Mrinalamadam Madanarbudavandita Chandrapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Nija Sevakakaraka Ranjividhum Vidutahitahum Krita Singhaparam Varanagatabalishashandapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Vipuli Krita Vaibhava Gaurabhuvam Bhuvaneshu Vikirtita Gauradayam Dayaniya Kanarpita Gaurapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Chiragorachanashraya Vishwaguru Guru Gorakishora-padasya param Paramadrita Bhakti Vinoda-padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Raghurupa Sanatanam Kirtidharam Dharanitalla-kirtika Jiva Kavim Kavirajanarotamma Sakyapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Kripaya Hari-kirtana Murtidharam Dharani Bharharaka Gorajanam Janakadhikavatsala-snigdhapadam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Charanagata-kunkaram Kalpatarum Tarudhikrita-dhiravadanyabaram Varadendra-ganarchita Divya-padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Paraham Saparam Paramartha-patim Patito Dharane Krita Deshayatim Yatirajaganai Parisevya-padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Vrishabhanusudadai Tanucharam Charanashritarenu-dharastamaham Mahadadbhuta-pavana Shakti-padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada-padam Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And now we will call out for the mercy of Sri Rup Goswami Pad. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj was a Rupanuga through and through. He understood perfectly well the essence of the teachings of Sri Rup Goswami Pad, to the extent that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada actually proclaimed that at least one has the qualification to carry on the message which I am giving. So he trusted him and he gave him that name, Bhakti Rakshak, which means the guardian or the protector of bhakti. So the guardian of devotion to Krishna, the guardian of the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami, which are coming through the Bhakti Vinod and Saraswat Dhara. So Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, Se Mor Sampada, Se Mor Bhajana Pujan. Page 50? Page 50 by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. In fact, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj explained that as one is progressing on the path of bhakti, they will understand and see and feel, realize the same essence manifesting through their Gurudev. There's a bhajan by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sri Rupa Gosai. I can't remember exactly, but through my Gurudev, Rupa Goswami is giving me instruction. And so he was explaining, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, that Sri Guru Rupete, through the form of my Guru, Rupa Goswami is giving these instructions. In essence, my Gurudev is manifesting Sri Rupa to me. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj spoke about this, that as one's understanding becomes more and more refined on the path of bhakti, they will see that their Gurudev is a non-different manifestation of Sri Rupa. And as it's becoming more and more refined, they will understand that their Gurudev is a non-different manifestation of Srimati Radhika. Now we understand that Rupa is a manifestation of Srimati Radhika, and also Sri Guru is the same manifestation also of Srimati Radhika. But they will understand the essence of that mood of loving service to Krishna is flowing through their Gurudev. So now we will call out for the mercy of Sri Rupa Manjari Sri Rupa Goswami Pad. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, Se Mora Sampada, Se Mor Bhajana Pujana, Se Mor Prano Dhano, Se Mor Yabharana, Se Mor Jivaner Jivana, Se Mor Jivaner Jivana, Se Mor Rasanidhi, Se Moro Vancha Siddhi, Se Mor Vedera Dharama, japa se mor dharma kara anukula habe vidhi se pade hoibe siddhi nirakhiva edu madhuri rashi prano kuvalaya shashi prabhulita have nishidine tuvaya darshano yadi garale jaralo dehi chirodino tapito jivano ha ha prabhu koro doya deho more pado chaya narotamo loilo sharana narotama loilo sharana Rupa Goswami Prabhu Rupa Goswami 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 Prabhu He Prabhu He Prabhu He Prabhu He Oh Prabhu He Prabhu He Prabhu He Prabhu He Rupa 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 He Shri Rupa Goswami Pad Ki Jai. Just before coming down for bhajans, I was reading from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj about humility. And he said humility is the mark of a Vaishnava. It is the essence of a Vaishnava. And yet, humility is not something which is displayed in front of everyone. We don't display humility in front of snakes, in front of dangerous creatures, in front of Mayavadis, in front of those who are antagonistic to Krishna, to Vaishnavas, to Bhakti. This would be stupidity, not humility. Humility must be properly placed, because humility is not a mundane characteristic when it comes to Bhakti. It is actually a function of association with Vaishnavas. In other words, just like Shraddha is not a material thing, but it is paramartik. In the same way, humility is also paramartik. It is something which is divinely manifesting, and therefore, properly placed, it would be at the feet of the Vaishnavas, at the feet of Guru, at the feet of Nitai, Gauranga, and Radha and Krishna. Then humility is properly placed. And then he gave the example of Hanuman. He said Hanuman is completely sold to the lotus feet of Sri Ram. Therefore, everything he does, his entire being is made of service to Sri Ram, including burning down Lanka. That was done in humility. And we have also understood from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada that Arjun, as well as Hanuman, Arjun, following the instructions of Krishna, was fighting on the battlefield, doing that thing which he didn't want to do initially, but on the order of Krishna he was doing it. Fighting and killing thousands and millions of warriors, many of whom were his own family members. Because his function, according to the desire of Krishna, was to rid the world of adharma. So This was part of his duty. And in humility to Krishna, in humility to Bhagavan, he followed that instruction. So humility is not cowing down or being timid in front of those personalities who are opposed to the principles of bhakti or opposed to Krishna, opposed to the pure Vaishnavas. This is not humility at all. Humility, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, is only really humility if it is placed at the feet of Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. Then it is considered humility. It doesn't mean that we should be disrespectful to anyone, but to actually submit ourselves, to surrender. That is something else. And when it comes to maintaining the truth, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he told that generally it is told that if you have to make any correction or if you have to speak something, you should speak sweetly. There's some term in Hindi or Sanskrit, Satyam Priyam Bruvat or something like that. That whenever you tell truth, it should be told sweetly. He said, but when it comes to Krishna consciousness, this is not the same as material considerations. In material considerations, then you might have to use a little bit of politics and tell the truth sweetly. When it comes to bhakti and the truth, if it is necessary to tell the truth in a harsh way so that someone would hear it, even if they don't initially like it, still it is for their benefit. So that telling of truth, it might seem harsh, but actually it is the ultimate form of sweetness. Radhe Radhe. So, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was speaking about humility like this. Like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, the only duty of the sadhu is to stand at the sacrificial altar with the upraised sword to sever the heads of the goats, the sacrificial goats of our anarthas. Our anarthas are now represented in this example by these sacrificial goats. And he said, what is that sword? He said it is harsh, unpleasant language. In other words, it goes against everything that is pleasing to my senses. Everything that I want to extract enjoyment from. It is cutting that. And instead it is turning me toward the service of Krishna. So because my nature is to love and serve Krishna, then that sword is actually the greatest medicine. Radhe Radhe. It is the greatest act of friendliness, even though it may seem harsh initially. When Narada Muni cursed Nalakuvera and Manigriva, it seemed very harsh, didn't it? They were just drunk. They were naked. They were sporting with apsaras. And they didn't know what they were doing, but they began to abuse Narad because he got in the way of their fun. He knew they were drunk. He knew that they couldn't control their minds, their senses, or their speech. And he's the greatest of Vaishnavas. He could understand their heart. He could understand everything. Why did he have to lose his temper and become angry and curse them? It seems like he has no control. But what was his curse? Oh, you're behaving like this naked in public? Then you should become trees. Because that's what trees do. They stand naked in public. So immediately they started turning into trees and they fell at his feet begging for mercy. And he said, you will remain as trees, but you will be liberated directly by Krishna himself when he comes to perform his pastimes. Is this an act of violence to them, or is this the act of the greatest form of mercy? These two trees, the twin Arjun trees, they witnessed all of the sweet childhood pastimes of Krishna. And after Krishna liberated them from those forms, they became known as Madhukanta and Snigdhakanta, eternal associates of Krishna in Vrindavan, always glorifying Krishna's pastimes in the association of Nanda Baba and all of the elders. Was this an act of meanness by Narada Muni, or the act of the greatest mercy? So we should see something by its result. So In ordinary material dealings, yes, maybe we should tell things pleasantly in a political way, but when it comes to bhakti, we cannot mince words. We must speak the truth for our own benefit and the benefit of all. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj spoke about humility like this, that humility is submission to the truth. Humility is submission to Sri Guru, to the Vaishnavas, to Krishna, but not to all of the mundane things of this world. That is not humility. Hare Krishna. So now we will call for the mercy of Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu and Prem Purushottam Shri Sachinandan Gaura Hari, page 86. Gauranga bolite have pulaka sharir, Hari Hari bolite nayane babe nir. And we might cut into class time, but I'm giving class in between the bhajans as well. This is by Srila Narottam Das Thakur, a favorite of all Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Gauranga bolite have Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari bolite Yane babe nirprag Ar kave nitai chande karuna hoibe Saro Vashana Mor Kabe Tucha Have Karuna Haive Sangsaro Vashana Mor Kabe Tucha Vishaya Chariya Kabe Have mano kavi hamo herabo Shri Vrindavano Vishaya Chariya Kavi Raghunath Pade Haribe Yakuti Kabe Hamo Bujhavo Se Jugala Piriti Apade Haribe Yakuti Raghunath Pade Rahu Mora Asho करुणा करो ये सदा नरोत्तम दास रूप रघुनाथ पदे गौरांग बोलते हवे पुलक शरीर हरि हरि बोलते नयने बाबे नीर निताय हे गौर हे निताय हे गौर हे जे रूप रघुना के रूप रघुना पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम श्री शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। You want to lead? You want to lead? Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna. Yep. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Radha Krishna Pranamur Jugal Kishore by Sri Narottam Das Thakur, page 123, 123, right? 23? No. 123. 23. Okay, I said it right. 123. Radha Krishna Prano Mora Jugala Kishora Jivane Marane Gati Aronahi Mora Keli Kadambero Vano Ratana Vediro Yupat Voshabo Dujana Ange divo chua chandane gandha chamar dhulavo kabe herivo mukha chanda গাথিয়া মালতীর মালা দিব দোহর গলে, অধরে তুলিয়া দিব কর্পূর তাম্বুলে। ললিতা বিশাখায়াদি যত সখী বৃন্দ, আজ্ঞায় করিব সেবা চরণারবিন্দ। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासेर अनुदास, सेवाय अभिलाष करे नरोत्तम दास। राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगल किशोर, जीवने मरणे गति आर नहीं मोर। राधा माधव जय राधा माधव, राधा माधव जय राधा माधव। ठाकुर नरोत्तम ठाकुर नरोत्तम, नरोत्तम ठाकुर नरोत्तम। वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा ठाकुरानी की जय, श्री गोपीनाथ जी की जय। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हरि हरि बोल। श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, कृपानुग गौरीय गुरुवर्ग की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Shri Radha Gopinath Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Tadiya Tirobha Mahamahotsav Ki Jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayanitti Namine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitti Namine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Nangayate Giring Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shata, Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. In the same thousands of Dandava Pranam, in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And on this day, the anniversary of his disappearance, I am offering my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, past, present, and future, including all of you who are physically present and all of you who are virtually present, I offer my pranam. Hare Krishna. Okay. So as you all know, today we are observing the anniversary of the disappearance of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. He's a very important personality in our Guru Varga. He has given sannyas to our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj has given sannyas to Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, and of course to our Srila Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Srila Gurudev has made the statement that sannyas is important because at that time it completely separates one from any previous connection and gives them the complete freedom to utilize every bit of their energy in seva. So our Gurudev would speak about our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada like this, that without sannyas, he wouldn't have been able to do what he did. And our Gurudev wasn't just telling that from his own mind and own heart. Our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada told it himself, exactly those words. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj had given sannyas mantras, which is Gopi Bhav mantras, to our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Although Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada had prepared to give him sannyas and had come to him many times in dreams, still It was after the departure of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada when a dream came to him that unless you take sannyas, my mission will fall apart. So you must accept sannyas. So he accepted sannyas from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. And also our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada told the same thing, that it was the desire of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, who came to him many times and wanted him to take sannyas. And so he said, practically I see that my Guru Maharaj was working through Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. We should understand that this is how Guru Tattva works. As our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada told, Guru is one who appears in an infinity of forms to teach you, me, and all others. One of those Gurus whom Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada considered to be one of those infinity of forms was Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, who not only was his very intimate friend, he lived with him for many years in his place in Allahabad. And they shared so many deep conversations. Our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada said they were so deep that you would faint to hear them. Can we imagine that kind of conversation? What were you speaking about? Oh, you won't even be able to digest it. You would faint to hear these conversations. He said, actually, my Guru Maharaj wanted him to prepare me for doing the service that he ended up doing. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj started that conversation in 1973. It was at his ashram, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat in Navadvip Dham, 1973. He started the conversation saying that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that Sarvatra Prachar Hoibe Mor Naam, that my name would be spread in every town and village. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also foresaw this, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada wanted to use his last 10 years for preaching the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western world. But Krishna took him before that could happen. So he said an amazing miracle was done by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada, that he brought the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the holy name to every town and village of this world. He said he gave Saraswati Prabhupada those last 10 years. So we are so proud, we are so thankful of this. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj started like this, glorifying this god brother of his, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And then our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada said, afterward, when he was speaking, that actually, after you could say the breakdown of the Gaudiya Mat, this was after Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada departed from the vision of this world. It was so many of the prominent disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada who separated from all of the madness, and they together, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, our Srila Prabhupada, our Param Gurudev, of course, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Shri Rup Siddhanti Maharaj, so many of these prominent and powerful Vaishnavas, they came together and they started or inaugurated Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti together. So all of these persons had a similar heart's understanding. They could not tolerate all the nonsense that was being done in the name of bhakti. These days we will tolerate anything. We will promote anyone as guru and as transcendental and pure as long as it helps to keep money in our pockets and our followers happy. But those days, they abandoned all of that nonsense for truth, to maintain the purity of the lineage, the sampradaya. Otherwise, how does it make us any better than any other group that any of our Gaudiya Vaishnava gurus are saying, oh, this is nonsense, sahajya and like this? Then what makes us any different? So they all separated from that. In fact, our Param Gurudev said, if it was dry stool, it would be easy to wash our hands and clean off, but we had dipped our hands in wet stool, so it took some time to properly clean it. That's how messy it was. So along with Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, there was also Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. They separated from all of that madness that was going on in the name of bhakti, and they established other mats to continue preaching the pure teachings of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Because our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada personally heard Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada tell that this one, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, has captured the essence of what I wanted to give, and he is able to carry that mood. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada told in front of him and all of his disciples who were present at the time, that initially I wanted to just manage. I was going to do the groundwork, the footwork, and I wanted Srila Sridhar Maharaj to be the guru of the institution. I was going to bring so many to him and he would initiate. That was his idea and his plan. He wanted to bring Srila Sridhar Maharaj with him. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj, his health was not so good, and also he would always say, I'm a back-pushing man. In other words, from the background, he would do so many things. So he was always present to give advice and adjustment. He was always fine-tuning anyone's misconception to properly understand the pure teachings of the Rupanuga Bhakti Vinod Saraswat Dhara, the lineage of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming through Rupa Goswami, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So our Srila Prabhupada wanted it, and he said, I see him as my Shiksha Guru. I see him as my Shiksha Guru. Some people dismiss these words, but when he started to glorify him, he said, Om Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shata, Shri Srimad, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. This is how he started, glorifying him as his Shiksha Guru. What to speak of the benefit that you all can get by his association. And within that same conversation, he was practically pleading with Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. Now they're building me a place in Mayapur. They're building me a house. And I would love it if you could come and live with me there. I also have questions from time to time, points of clarification, and I need someone to speak with. Everyone else was so junior to him, but he wanted to be able to have that kind of interaction with this God brother, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. He said, and so there will be no difficulty for you whatsoever. We will also place an elevator in that place so that you will have no difficulty. And when I go preaching around the world, at least someone will be here that devotees can come to and consult. This kind of trust he had in his God brother, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. He had said a couple of things in a couple different places about the breakdown of Gaudiya Mat and things like that, and that was history. And it's true, history may be there, but the final instruction and the final instructions are much more potent, powerful, and important. So some immature persons decided to dismiss his final instructions and try to highlight other things that were told. From time to time, there are disagreements or apparent disagreements among highly elevated personalities, or what appears to be disagreements, like Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Acharya. Sometimes they would use abusive language toward each other when they were splashing each other with water, and they were calling each other all sorts of names. It was all true, but it all had double and triple meanings. And so many people did not understand, and some were taking sides between Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur tells very strongly, again and again and again and again and again, at least 5 or 6 times in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, that anyone who takes sides between great personalities when they're having an apparent difference of opinion or some conflict, this is not their place. He said, I kick them in their heads. Of course, this is his mercy. Srila Bhakti Vigyam Bharati Maharaj explained that giving the dust of his lotus feet is mercy to them. But so many very immature personalities decided to go against Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj for reasons actually unknown. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wanted, he even told when they asked him, when he was on his departure bed, that if we have questions, if we need help with shastric understandings or misunderstandings, and we need clarification, who should we go to? And he again mentioned the name Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. He wanted the last two cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, including the remainder of the 10th canto, 11th and 12th, to be translated and commentaries done under the guidance of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. And this was to be done by Pradyumna Prabhu. Pradyumna Prabhu's seva was taken away from him by others who thought they could do better, but they dismissed the order of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and so we lost that opportunity to receive those commentaries from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. So he wanted this kind of interaction, and that is why after our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada departed from this world, so many of his most prominent or famous GBCs and sannyasi disciples went to Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj for guidance. Otherwise they wouldn't have gone, but because he actually told that, they went there. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he never had any enmity, any difficulty, any problem with anyone, especially with any of those devotees. Whenever they would come, he would try his best to help them, without judging, without anything. And he never tried to take any position of prominence, although Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wanted him to have some prominence. In fact, he wanted that temple in Mayapur, the Vedic planetarium, to be made under his guidance. He spoke it, that he wanted that to be done under the guidance of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. So not only was there a relationship that was so deep between these two transcendental personalities, but Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj is a mine of transcendental jewels. If you see any of his lectures, if you see any of his books or his bhajans, you will see that he is always deeply, deeply thinking, also for himself, but also for the benefit of others, how someone can be attracted to the path of bhakti, and how someone can be propelled forward on the path of bhakti toward Krishna. There's not so much more time, but I just want to share that he was actually quite a prominent figure in my life because of all of the negativity that I experienced about him when I was growing up at the temple in Los Angeles. For some reason, all of a sudden, his name became synonymous with the worst thing ever. And anyone who heard his name would make a very bitter face and practically spit. And I remember that mood was infectious. Now, aparad has that kind of infectious tendency. And we see the result of it, that not only all of those prominent leaders at the time, maybe one is still remaining, or one or two, but most of them fell down in a very horrible way. This is from Vaishnava Aparad. Because they were such prominent, powerful preachers, but how could one fall down in such terrible, horrible ways? This is Vaishnava Aparad. And so I remember even as a child feeling this negativity. I would hear his name and I don't know anything about him, but just the name, like this, I would become dismissive. And I remember even speaking to some other devotees about my father who was reading his books. And I was like, what should I do about him? He's reading his books. I was just a kid at the time, but that's the kind of nature that was instilled within the devotees at that time. It was done towards Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, it was done towards Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, it was done towards Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and many others. This kind of mood was just bitterly pushed on the devotees, and they would accept these moods, which is quite a dangerous thing. Because if the leader is contaminated, Krishna says, whatever the leader does, the commoners will follow. So you see, if there's a drunk bus driver and he starts going off the road, all of the people in the bus, even if they're innocent, they go with him. So this is the nature of Vaishnava aparad. So this was my nature and tendency. My father started pushing me, oh, you should read this book, Sri Guru in His Grace. You have not accepted Guru in your life, you should accept Guru. Read this book, Sri Guru in His Grace. I cannot tell you how many times he pressured me to read this book. And I was like, why is he pressuring me to read this book from, Someone had given him this book many, many years before. He saw the name on the book, didn't bother to read it or anything. He just saw the name, and he ripped it and threw it in the garbage. He told me 1 year before he departed from this world, he said, I used to be so inspired in bhakti, fired up constantly. Somewhere along the line, 20 years later, I looked in my heart and I felt spiritually dead. And he thought, what is happening with me? I must understand what happened so that I can undo this. And he started praying and searching. And then he told me something that shocked me. He decided that if he cannot discover what the source of his spiritual death was, that he would give up his life. And he's not that kind of person, but he decided that at the time that that's what he would do. Within a very short amount of time, one devotee came and gave him the same book again. Hey, you should check this book out, Sri Guru and His Grace. It's a compilation of conversations with Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj about Guru Tattva. So he took the book, he looked at it, looked on the back cover, looked at the name, and he thought, what kind of person just rips a book and throws it away without even reading anything? He's like, at least I should read something first and then decide whether it's worth anything or not. And if you look on the back cover, it starts with, to err, or is human. It means it is human to make mistakes. And because of that tendency to make mistakes, we are not able to attain perfection in an instant. If we were already perfect, then in an instant we would attain perfection. Therefore, we require help from outside of ourselves. And that help that comes from outside of ourselves comes in the form of the mercy of Krishna as Sri Guru. So Guru is required to help us to overcome our own insufficiencies. I can read you the whole thing, but we don't have much time. So as my father was reading it, he began to weep and cry, thinking, what have I done? What have I done? Not only did he miss out on any time to associate with him, but he had offended him. So he discussed with some devotees, and they told that the way to become free from that is to repent and to share him with whoever they could share him with. So he did that. He told everyone he met about Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, and he recommended this book to everyone he could and tried to give copies of this book to whoever he could give it to. And of course, later on, Srila Gurudev came to him and he accepted Srila Gurudev as his Shiksha Guru, and Gurudev gave him Harikatha. But I remember that time, it was quite an intense time to have this influence over us. And only at a certain point, due to the influence of my father, Mantiladish Prabhu, this was just before Srila Gurudev came to the West for the first time. We were working with him. And he gave us something, read this. And it was a conversation between some senior devotees and a very, very, very senior Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. And they were pestering him, pushing him, accusing him and everything. And he said, I'm an old man. Just please leave me alone today. I just need to rest. We can continue tomorrow. And they kept pushing, and he was crying. And at that time, Sudevi became very defensive. How dare they treat him like this? Who do they think they are? And I also became very defensive. And within less than 2 weeks, Srila Gurudev came to the house where we were staying and claimed us, basically. So you see, when you become defensive of a Vaishnava, defensive of offenses towards a Vaishnava, this attracts the mercy of Vaishnavas. So Srila Gurudev came to our place and claimed us. So it was very soon afterward anyhow. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev would tell that when he first came to the Gaudiya Math, he was impressed with the teachings of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and those who were preaching his mission. So he came, and it was Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj who would tell this every time he would see our Gurudev and Srila Vaman Maharaj and others who would come to visit from the Math of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. So he would tell it, that, oh, when I first came to the Math, at that time I saw a most amazing thing. A young brahmachari, clad in white cloth with very, very fancy dhoti, it was a special kind of cloth, was sitting on a chair with his arms behind his head, his feet out on the table, kind of shaking his feet. He had a nice cane next to him. And all these big, big sannyasis and brahmacharis were coming and offering their pranam to him. And he was like, he saw this and he saw that, oh, he would give some little instruction and direct them like this and that. He was thinking, who is this personality? And then they said, oh, that is Vinod Bihari Brahmachari, one of the first disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He came in 1916 or something, 1918. Before there was a Math or anything, it was Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj as Vinod Bihari Brahmachari and his two aunties. And Saraswati Prabhupada was talking about, oh, very soon the whole world, we will have mutts in every place in the world. And these aunties of Vinod Bihari Brahmachari were like, oh, this is like a dream of yours, some kind of pipe dream. What kind of thing? You don't have a place to stay. How are you going to have mutts all over the world? Oh, Vinod will take care of everything, he would say. So this kind of relationship he had with Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was quite impressed. Srila Gurudev was telling that in all Gaudiya Math, especially these two personalities, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj and Vinod Bihari Brahmachari, the Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, his Gurudev, they were so erudite and well versed in all kinds of thought. They understood all of the teachings of Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbaditya, and all of the different lines of everything, and they could argue every point. And when they would come together, they had so much love and respect for one another. And Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj would establish so many points, and then Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj would defeat all of those points. And then Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj would defeat all of those points, and they would go back and forth. He said, our Gurudev said, these days, devotees, when they come together, they don't have this kind of connection. They start asking about, oh, how are you? How's your family? What's the latest show you've seen on television or something like that. They have all kinds of mundane conversations. But the Vaishnavas at that time would come together and discuss tattva and siddhanta in a way that would increase their faith, increase their conviction in their bhakti to Krishna. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and our Param Gurudev Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj had this kind of relationship with one another. And although technically our Param Gurudev was senior to him, and there's the consideration of seniority according to who comes to the path of bhakti first and who has received diksha first, and also age. So there are so many considerations for seniority. Still, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, our Param Gurudev, accepted sannyas from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj in the same place that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted sannyas in Katwa. So Arti is coming soon, but I just wanted to share that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, although he remained in his Math, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, in Sri Navadip Dham, he never traveled out. But still, his preaching was so powerful, so clear, so deep and digestible. When I say digestible, I mean he has made it in such a way that very complex subject matters could be understood even by someone who is not so advanced in understanding spiritual thought, but he would bring us to deep understandings in spiritual life. Whenever I saw the teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, I saw them like the tsunami rolling in. You know what happens when a tsunami rolls in? It's very powerful. It just comes in and it's like a hurricane. It's materially devastating and spiritually enlivening. And I always felt that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was like the digested teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. A tsunami has two main functions: the incoming and the outpulling. And most people don't understand the second part, but the second part is equally as powerful and materially destructive. It just has a different form. And so Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was like the digested teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. What he came to give, how he preached, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj adhered to this practically to the letter, very, very carefully. And although he maintained his preaching from Sri Navadip Dham, his preaching and his name and fame went all over the world and had such a massive impact. To this day, it's still having such a massive impact. The way that he presented spiritual subject matter, it could connect to almost anyone at any place. Very, very deep and very powerful. There's so many beautiful books that have been produced based on his lectures and conversations. Like Subjective Evolution of Consciousness. That was the first one I read from him, and that was mind-blowing for me. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. Or Shri Guru and His Grace, of course, glorifying Guru Tattva. And then Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, part 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so many other books. The Glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what was that? The Golden Volcano of Divine Love. And I'm trying to remember some of the Search for Sri Krishna, Reality, the Beautiful, and Loving Search for the Lost Servant. These books and the teachings within them are so beautiful and so powerful. It can take someone who is firmly, I have this conviction, firmly absorbed in the conceptions of Mayavad and turn them toward devotion to Krishna. How beautiful and powerful the teachings of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj are. Our Srila Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, on the appearance and disappearance of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, would personally glorify him and personally offer arti to him and engage all of his disciples and followers to hear his glories, to remember those glories. So this personality, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, is no ordinary personality. I just want to reiterate that when Sri Guru, like Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, makes an ultimatum, means a final instruction. That final instruction takes precedence over anything else he has said in the past. And so his instruction and his desire was for his disciples to be able to benefit from the association of and the teachings of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. He himself also wanted that. So we should understand that this is no ordinary personality. Srila Prabhupada said he is a pure devotee of Krishna. So today, on the anniversary of the disappearance of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, there's so much more to tell, but there's no more time. Even Srila Gurudev said, there are so many transcendental personalities that can glorify transcendental persons. And Gurudev was speaking about himself, but I am not that. He said, I am just an ordinary human, so what can I say in glorification of such a transcendental personality? If Gurudev is speaking about himself like that, then what to speak of me? I am nothing. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj said that we should come more and more to this understanding and realization. The more we come to this point of understanding and realizing that I am, like Gurudev said, you should realize that you are nothing. You are just a particle that can be covered by Maya at any moment. The more we have this understanding of our vibhina angsata, our infinitesimalness, and our weakness, but also praying and becoming dependent on Krishna, the more Krishna will be attracted. He is the supreme positive, and if we come, he said, the more negative one comes in their feeling about themselves, that I am nothing, I am only a hopeful recipient of the mercy of Krishna, this will attract Krishna. And then he gave this inspiration that it is the most amazing thing that the most infinitesimal, minute particle, any jiva, if he awakens within his heart in deep humility, a mood of exclusive pure love and affection to the infinite, Krishna, the infinite Supreme Personality will become controlled by that love and affection. What an amazing concept, what an amazing thought. So, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Tadiya Tirobhav Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guruvarga ki jai, Radha Gopinaju Sachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Radha Gopinaju Sachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai. See you all tomorrow. Radhe Radhe.